Hi, everybody. My name is Garrett Hottle. We're on HTV, and we are talking with Michael Heckman, the Chief Executive Officer of the Houston Corporation. Mr. Heckman, thank you for joining us. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do and the Houston Corporation? I know that's a broad question,
Yeah.
but for the person sitting at home, it may sound a little wonky.
Yeah, sure. So I try to make it as simple as I can. So Houston First is organized as a local government corporation set aside from the city, but really with the responsibility of marketing the city for visitors, tourists, major events, conventions, TV and film projects. We also run facilities that I think a lot of people would know, like the George R. Brown Convention Center, Jones Hall, Miller Outdoor Theater, Wortham Center. We also own the Hilton Americas Hotel. So we have a really broad set of responsibilities, but boiling it down into something real simple, which is to sell, market, and promote Houston.
The economy of Houston.
Right.
And one thing we were talking about when you first came in here was what you have on the agenda today, going from Zoom meetings to in person meetings. The pandemic changed everything. How has your corporation aided in, say, the economic recovery and development here in the city as recently?
Really, it was to get people back moving again. Once the authorities and the government said that people could move around again and start gathering again, because the pandemic really did have a devastating effect on what we do. We're about people gathering, traveling, hotel stays, things of that nature. But really, the visitor economy for Houston is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise for this city. It employs thousands upon thousands of people, not only at hotels but at restaurants, the whole hospitality community as a whole. And so our job at Houston First is to create value, is to bring people here, have that ripple effect throughout the economy, of creating economic impact, so that we can have an even healthier economy than what we have today. And as we recovered from the pandemic, that took a lot of hard work and a lot of executing against some strategies that we never really thought we'd have to employ before, but then did to come out of the pandemic.
That sounds interesting. Do you have a recent project that Houston First maybe participated in or you find interesting or said, hey, this had a big impact that you want to talk about, or maybe that helps convey what you guys do to the person sitting on the couch?
Sure. So I'm not sure that a lot of people would think that intuitively know that this is how it works, but I think people probably know the show Top Chef, right? It's an Emmy award-winning
Yeah.
show. They filmed their 19th season here in Houston, and we were involved in helping recruit and get it here, and then ultimately help them move around the destination, understand how they wanted to build their storyline and architecture, and really that became for us really 16 episodes of a commercial for Houston as a destination.
And for people that don't know, wickedly popular show,
Very
cooking competition. Everybody, I'm sure a lot of people have a family member that has seen it.
right.
When you're putting together a project like that, what are the qualities or maybe the type of people that you're looking for in forming a team to accomplish something like that? Hey, we want to get Top Chef filmed here.
Yeah, so we have a great team at Houston First. We really do, with people that are really passionate about the destination, but are also really great at what they do. So we have many different departments, from business analytics to our operations of our facilities, marketing department. We have a broad marketing staff that does a number of different things, from public relations to marketing and advertising. And then we have a sales team that works on recruiting mega large conventions here or small meetings that populate throughout the rest of the city.
What's the United Brand Campaign?
So less than 2 years ago, Mayor Turner, when we were in the throes of the pandemic, thought it would be a good opportunity to use the time before the world was open again to unify Houston's brand. He recognized, I think, what a lot of people have known for some time, but the mayor demonstrated it with his leadership to say, look, across Houston's brand, organizations that promote Houston, we all often say different things. Economic development, recruitment is different than tourism promotion and tourism marketing, entertainment, lifestyle, any number of different things, but it all needs to flow from the same place. So he asked us to lead and work with a number of the organizations like the Greater Houston Partnership and others in the community to develop a unified brand for Houston. And we've done that, and I'm really proud of the work that really came out of that. but that would not have been possible without the mayor's leadership, without the strength of his leadership saying, look, this is something that we've got to do for our community. It's not easy to do because we have a city that's more than 600 square miles. We've got NASA, we've got Museum District, we've got the oil and gas and the energy industry, we've got the port, there's so many things to talk about this community, but really it was about developing that brand essence that it all flows from.
And you mentioned it there. Lots of businesses, lots of bustling activity, lots of people. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are listening to some of the stories that you're telling right here and going, wow, that sounds exciting. Are there any tools or maybe resources that you want people at home to know that they could take advantage of?
I'd recommend to people if they haven't been, you would do this if you're going to go visit another city, if you're going to go to Atlanta or Orlando to visit their website. Take a visit to visithouston.com. There's great information whether you're visiting this city or you live here. I think for those of us that have lived here for a long period of time, you may forget all that there is to do. We get into our habits and our routines of the things that we do. You may not remember all the attractions that we have. That's all on visithouston.com. And I think that's a great way to experience your own city, your own destination to see what's out there.
This sounds like a fun question, especially for someone in your position. Where do you see the city in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I see us continuing to develop along our lines of where we've been for the past few years along innovation with the energy transition conversation that is now going on. We're an energy city, but that's going to look different, I think, in the future. I think that we will continue to be a highly diverse city. You'll continue to see that. We're a young city. Young people continue to move here. So I think that you'll continue to see a lot of that. And if we're doing our job the right way at Houston First, hopefully you're just going to see more and more visitors that come here. And for our job to continue to expand what that looks like for visitation to our community. Because we know the dollars and cents that are related to that, but it also relates to business recruitment. A CEO or a board of directors is typically not going to expand into a community or move their headquarters to a city that they've never visited before. And a lot of times that first blush when they come and maybe they're here for a leisure visit or they're here for a business visit, that experience needs to be superior. And if they leave and say, wow, I've been reading a lot about Houston, I've seen a lot, but man, I was there and it was really terrific with all the green space and the people were friendly. And it really blew me away with what was there. And we hear that a lot for people that maybe haven't been here ever, or maybe haven't been here for 20 years. It's a completely different city.
And it sounds like you mentioned it there earlier that maybe a lot of people don't take advantage of this or don't practice this, but you want people to check the city website because the opportunities and the culture here is changing and it's growing more diverse.
And that's what we say is Houston is a tapestry of cultures that really fits together beautifully into make Houston what we all know it to be. And sometimes that's hard to explain for those of us that I've lived here now 20 years as my home. And it gets to be hard to explain because Houston sort of has that magic that's been captured in a bottle that you really don't know how to explain. But it really is a beautiful tapestry of cultures that all work together. Our diversity is our strength. Diversity in itself is just a number, but the way that it works together, and we say that the power of together is really what makes Houston what it is.
And let me ask you one more question that might be difficult to explain because it's kind of broad. Is there anything that you say, hey, Garrett, I want the person sitting at home on their couch to know this or know that, or maybe I want the people of Houston to know this because I think it's interesting and I think they will too? I know that's a broad question, but
yeah, I think a takeaway, and particularly for the work that I do and my teammates do at Houston First, which is we need Houstonians to be our biggest advocates and our biggest ambassadors. We have a great city. Sometimes I think that folks in New York are very proud of New York and other places. We need to be very proud of the city that we have because it is a great place to live. It's a great place to visit. And I think that amongst the millions of Houstonians that live here, if we can develop even more ambassadors for the work that we do, that just amplifies any advertising buy that we can do or any marketing strategy or plan that we have.